Yo, this is Lord Button Masher, and I'm gonna be doing my very first Tekken tutorial on my channel. It's gonna be on Anna Williams. I'm gonna be going over her key moves, her mix-up knowledge, also her advanced techniques. So this is gonna be for the beginner, the intermediate, and advanced player. So the first thing I want to go over is key moves, and also too, if you want to skip certain sections, I will have it all timestamped. So with key moves, the first one we have is forward 2. It's a great move. Just don't spam it a lot to the point where they know it's coming, because they can just duck it. Also, if you knock them down, you can go for a follow-up. Also on block, it does provide some plus frames, so it's 4 on block, which is great, and it also gives you time to plan your next attack. Also, we have 4-4-3-2, which is one of our heat engagers. It's safe. Also a great move. Then we have forward 3-3. This is a great move because it goes into crouch. But honestly, between the first move and this move, I would be spamming this move because, you know, it's something that you want to just throw in there every blue moon. You don't want that to be something, because when you fight people that have Anna knowledge or you do a mirror match, they're gonna be able to spot that. Also, we have wall rising 2. Then we also have 1-2, 1-2-1, 1-2-1-4, and then we have 1-2-1-2. Now 1-2-1-4, my bad. 1-2-1-4 can be ducked, so be careful with that. Also, we have down forward 4 was one of her main pokes. Great move. Also on counter hit, it knocks down, my bad, and you can go for a stomp. So it's a great move, but it's not safe at all by any means. Also, we have up forward 4. This is one of her combo launchers. It evades lows. It's kind of slow, so don't always depend on using this to evade a low, because you might not be able to catch it. And then we also have back 3, which allows her to go into chaos judgment stance. Now this is better for evading lows, because if your opponent goes at a low, you'll automatically parry it. But you gotta time it just right though. Also, we have 1+2. It's a great move. It's homing. Now on counter hit, it allows you to do a follow-up or something like this. So that's also a great move to spam, but just know when to use that move also as well. Also, we have 2-3. It allows you to go in chaos judgment stance. This is good for punishing. This is not safe at all. Then we have sidestep 3. Also a great move. Now on counter hit, it knocks down. It allows you to go for like a follow-up basically. And then on block, it also gives you some plus frames. So it's 4 on block. So always spam this move too. This is also a great move. Also, we have down forward 1, down forward 1-2, and then we have the extension down forward 1-2-3. Then we have down forward 1-2-4. Now these are great moves because by the wall, they wall splat. Now down forward 1-2-3. This move is a better move, honestly, in my personal opinion, because number one, it's a mid and it'll always catch them. And then also, this move can be ducked. The last move can be ducked for this move, but by the wall, since there's a little bit of a delay for the kick to come out, your opponent might try to hit you, because they might have an opportunity to hit you. If they do, it'll be a counter hit and you'll get them against the wall. Now every now and then there's some people that you fight against that are able to get hits off, but for the most part, it's pretty much works against the wall almost every single time. And we also have back 4. I'm gonna go over that in a second. So back 4 is a great move, but when you do it, it goes into her stance called hammer chance. And going to that stance is actually forward 3. But anyway, but it's a great move to use. Just throw it out a lot. Also, with this move, when it's on block, nothing happens. So, but when you're able to get that off, you can do one of your mix-ups from that stance. I'll go over that later on. Also, we have down forward 3 1 2. My bad, wrong thing. My bad. Yeah, down forward 3 1. All right, so this is also a good move. You can side step, you can cancel out of it, and then we also have down 4 1. Same thing. You can cancel out of it. Either way. Now with the extension with down forward 3 1 2, bring out the rocket launcher. My bad. Yeah, the rocket launcher. So, the first one I showed you, this one right here, this is a regular rocket launcher. The other one puts them in a weakening state. So basically, your chip damage becomes amplified when the opponent has that purple aura around them. So that's Anna's one of her key moves that she, as far as her gameplay. Now, if the opponent hits you, then they get out of that state. So you want to try to hit them as much as you possibly can while they're in that state, and not let them hit you either if you can avoid it. Also, we have forward 4. Also a great move. It's +4 on block. It's also good if the opponent is trying to like get up like mid-match. When you see that, get this off. Also, people for some reason, people that don't really have Anna knowledge, think it's always a low for some reason. So they'll duck and they'll get hit with it, which is great for you. Also, we have forward 4-2, and then we have forward 4-2 with the hold. This is also a great move because it's safe, and it's one of her main moves that I used to use in Tekken 7 a lot. But I mean, I wouldn't just do the hold. I would just do the regular 1-1-2, 1-1+2. Then we also have quarter circle 1. So if you do the blue spark, which you saw earlier, it's more damage. Also, we have up forward 3-4. That's great against Xiaoyu. Then we also have back 1-2, which is her armor move, knocks down, or something like this. If they're trying to hit you, get them in a combo. I'll go over that later anyway. Then we also have Chaos Judgment 4. I'll go over other moves from that stance later on too. That's also her armor move. And then we have Wall Rising 1-2. Then we have 3. 3 goes into her Chaos Judgment stance. And then we also have Wall Rising 3. And we have Wall Rising 4. So you kind of want to go between those two moves, because if you constantly use Wall Rising 3 all the time, they're going to automatically expect you to go use a move from Chaos Judgment stance. So to keep them kind of guessing, kind of go between both these moves basically. Also, now we also have this other move called Down 2, which is her icicle move. Knocks down on counter hit. It's a great move. And also too, if it knocks down, you can go for the stomp. Now the stomp is actually down 3 + 4. That's only when they're on the ground. Now the cool thing about the stomp actually is when you knock down and you do the stomp, it restores some heat actually. It's also a great move. Also, we also have down back 4, goes into our hammer chance. And I'll tell you one of the follow-ups you can do. So if you do down back, so counter hit, you catch them like this, you press 1, and it goes. It's one of her heating gauges too, which is also a great move. And we also have down back 2, which also goes into the rocket launcher. Now, Wall Rising 1-2 goes into the extension with the rocket launcher. Now, when you have the rocket launcher out, if you press X, you go into Chaos Judgment stance. So, same thing. But anyway, those are her key moves.
I'm only interested in my inferior.
So the next part of the tutorial, I'll be going over knowing your follow-ups, which can help you in tough situations and basically close the gap between you know, you be going from beginner to intermediate, or either intermediate to advanced. So all this is going to be on counter hit. So the first thing that we have is going to be down, back 4, and then 1. So when you see them do this, then you get the 1 easily. So that goes into your heat engager. Then also you have Chaos Judgment 1 plus 2. Now, this is perfect because against the wall, it wall splats. So just kind of give you an example. This is really good to do against the wall. So you know. Well, actually, it wouldn't be from this part, but it'd be from here, bam, bam. All right. So when you're not against the wall, the other options that you have is 2-2, which is not really. I mean, it's okay. And then you have your heat engager as well, which is pretty cool. So the best, in my personal opinion, is 1-2. Does the most damage, or unless you want to get a heat engager. So the next one we have is 1 plus 2. So you have 1 plus 2, same thing before. 1 plus 2, 2-2. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 heat engager. I did it wrong. Yeah, 1 plus 2 heat engager. So it's kind of the same thing as the Chaos Judgment stance. Then also too, we have Wall Rising 1. Hold on. Then we also have, and this is on counter hit, by the way. And we also have Wall Rising 2-3, which goes into your heat. Then we also have Wall Rising 3-2, which goes with the rocket launcher. Also, we have this move right here. Probably go that move. We also have Icicle, which is down 2. Then the Stomp, 3 souls down 2, 3, 4. And then we also non-counter hit. This is not guaranteed all the time, but you can get it most of the time. So what it is you do 4-4-2. Hold on. You do 4-4-2, and then you run for a down forward 4. All right. Also in heat, which is pretty cool, you can do up 4-3-1, or up 4-3. My bad. Up 4-3-2. My bad. I was doing it backwards. So this is 1. This is 2. So yeah, and that's pretty much it for this particular that particular set. And also too, you can also roll. Now the roll is really cool because a lot of people, that's the way to close in the gap. You know what I'm saying with the roll? This is kind of like an advanced technique. I was playing online one day and I was trying to figure out how to hit people, and I realized, oh, I can just do 1 plus 2, and that works out too. Then also you have down forward 1, down forward 2, or you know, the full extension, which is wall rising 1, wall rising 2, and then going into 1, or wall rising 1, 2, and then going into 2. But this pretty much concludes this part of the section.
I'm only interested in my inferior. Miss One.
So in this part of the tutorial, I'll be going over her Chaos Judgment stance. So she has a lot of options from this particular stance, has a lot of unique properties. So the first move that she has in this stance is going to be, of course, back 3, 1. On counter hit, you can go for a follow-up. So for example, or with the power crush. Also, we have Chaos Judgment stance 1 plus 2, puts her in crouch if you hold down. Also, you have Chaos Judgment up 4-3. Then you also have Chaos Judgment stance up 4-4. That's a combo launcher, as you can see. Then, of course, you have from Chaos Judgment Stance, you can do Chaos Judgment Stance 3+4, which goes into a Power Crush. And then we also have Chaos Judgment Stance 4, which is also another arm move that she has. Then, also with this stance, you have a roll that you can go out of the stance, which is amazing, right? It's a good way to close in the gaps without having to always run forward and just do this. So instead, you can do that, and you can evade highs, which is pretty cool. So from that roll, you have Chaos Judgment Stance down forward 3, and you also have Chaos Judgment Stance down forward 4. So the first one launches, the other one knocks down. You can go for a follow, which is 1+2. But on counter hit, Chaos Judgment Stance down forward 3, you can go for a counter. You can go for a combo, my bad. Then also you have Chaos Judgment Stance 3-2, and then also you have Chaos Judgment Stance down back 3-3. Then also you can also go into the stance another different kind of way by actually holding 4-4 3+4 like this. Then you also can do quarter circle 2-4 back, so like this. And then of course wall rising 3, and of course 2+3. Now, also a unique property that you have in this particular stance, if you counter hit like this, you can go for a Power Crush. Hold on. Which is pretty cool. So also use that technique as well. It's a very good technique to use, especially online or fighting against another opponent. Also for the stance, you have 2 unique properties when it comes to like throws and lows. So for a low, she'll automatically like crush it. You get them in a combo launcher, and then for the throws, she'll automatically counter it as well. Let me show you an example. See? So that's a good example of what it would look like for a low and a throw. So if you have good character knowledge and you know how to actually fight against a particular character, make sure you abuse that, because you'll scare people not doing lows and stuff like that. That's another way to also frustrate your opponent. Also in Chaos Judgment Stance, you have up forward 1 and up forward 2. So you know you do the up forward 1, you put them in the debuff stage where you can chip damage them to death. And then if you do like the up forward 2, that's just your regular rocket launcher move.
Lovely Tom's craving for a good time.
So in this section, I'm going to be going over the punishers. We have 1-2, 1-2-1. Now out of 1-2, you can hold forward and go into hammer chance. Now we even have down forward 1-2. Hold forward, you can go into hammer chance 2. We also have back 2-2, which is the slap, and then we have while standing 3. Now, on counter hit, if you do while standing 3, you can actually do a follow up, which is 2-1, which goes into your heat engagement. If done correctly. Okay. Now, we even have the booty bump, which is 3+4. She can do that out of crouch too. Then we also have 2-4. 2-4 can be delayed. See, watch. And then we even have quarter circle 2-1. That's good for long range moves. We even have while standing 1-2, which goes into our pleasure time stance. And then we even have down back 2 as well. And then we have 2-3, my bad, which goes into Chaos Judgment Stance. And then we even have 2. And then we even have down forward 2, which is our launcher. And we have up 4-4. So if you block a move, you can go for that. That's a combo launcher. And then we have wall standing 4. And then we have wall standing 2. Wall standing 2 is definitely not safe. So when you use that, make sure you actually can punish them. Don't just throw that out there mid-game. And that's it for the section. Yo, so this is the other section that I'm going to be going over, which is pleasure time. So in this particular stance, she has access to the rocket launcher. And you know you can either shoot out the weakening state or the regular rocket launcher. And she has multiple ways of going into the state. So the first one was down, back 2. And then we also have wall standing 1, 2. And then when she's in heat, we have up forward 3, 4. All right. And then we also have 1+2 on hit. And then of course, either 1 or 2. Now, when she's in this stance, you have 2 options. Either you can, actually you have 3 options. Either you can go in the Chaos Judgment stance, or you can get out of it like this, holding down back. Or the last option, besides the rocket launcher moves, of course, you have a low kick. So definitely know when to use this particular move. I mean, the safest move, the best bet is to always go for, you know, the weakening state. Or, you know, if you want to get out of it, or just, you know, crouch. But don't stay in it too long, and don't abuse being in the stance all the time. Like, try to, you know, don't always try to be in the stance for a long period of time. Unless you're playing like a high level opponent that you have to do mix-ups on, or things of that nature, or someone that doesn't have that much knowledge on fighting against Anna. All right, in this section, I'm going to be going over her heat moves. So the first heat move that she has is when you do 1, 2, 1, 2. You have the rocket launcher. You also have Chaos Judgment Stance 3, 2. Same thing. And then also you slide. You also have the rocket launcher. Also, you have up 4, 3, 1, which puts them in that debuff state. And then you have up 4, 3, 2, which is the regular rocket launcher, which I don't see the purpose of using that, honestly. I'd rather use. Also in heat, Anna has down forward 2, 4, which is the enhanced version of her down forward 2. It's also a great move as well. And then you also have the heat burst, which also puts them in that debuff state as well. And that pretty much concludes it.
I'm only interested in my inferior.
This is my advanced tips and tricks section. I'm basically gonna be going over certain moves that I went over earlier in more detail, and basically trying to elevate your gameplay to the next level. So that way you can go online and you can actually devastate people online. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is 2-4. 2-4 is a great move, and also 1-2-4. You know what they have in common? That 4, right? So the 2-4, you can delay it, right? Like that. Same thing with 1-2-4. Like that. Now the beauty of it is on counter hit, right? If you delay the 2-4, let me show you what time. You can get a count. You can get a combo off. So now that combo was 87 damage. That's pretty powerful, right? So yeah. So try to get those off if you can. Now keep in mind that 2 and that 4, the 1-2-4 can be ducked because they are all highs. But those are good moves to use when your opponent like gets really antsy and you know you can catch him with that 4. Now, the next move I want to talk about is going to be the roll, right? Out of your Chaos Judgment stance. It's used to close the gaps, right? So the roll is a good technique to like use to cover distance, because a lot of times what you can do is you can do a combo like this, right? Do another roll, and you can really mix them up. Or what you could do is you can go for a roll like this, and then go for your crouch option down for 1, and get them in heat. So that roll can be also another way to use to mix up your opponent, or you can just go for the roll and go, you know, roll, hit 3, follow up, or 4, combo. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, take advantage of the roll because it can be used for a lot of different. It can be used in a lot of different ways, as far as mix-ups, as far as going for the combo, or again closing the gap without having to always spam forward 2 like this. So the next move I want to go over is going to be hammer chance 1+2. So basically you have your +6 when you do it, which gives you enough time to do your next attack. So what you could do is you can go for the down forward 2, or the same thing and go for this option. It's a good way to mix people up. Also, you can do that. Now, when you're closer like this and you do that, it's more of a risk, but people get it off online all the time. But again, you can't constantly spam it. You have to be, you can't play in a straight line. You have to be very unpredictable when you use Ana, because this is a very slow move up close. They can see it coming, and they can hit you a lot of times. But a lot of people sometimes they'll freeze, they'll panic, and they won't do anything. But if they don't, that gives you an opportunity to go for a mix-up. Also, in hammer chance, another thing I wanted to show you is you could something like this. And granted, you already know from earlier, if you get wall standing 3, 2, 1, then of course you can go into heat. So always keep that in mind as well. But anyway, also when you do hammer chance or just down forward, don't always go for this option. Sometimes go for something like this, CJM Stance, and then maybe go for like a launcher or something like that, or you can crouch. Just always utilize the other stance, so that way they don't know what stance you're going to be in, and you can mix them up even more. Also, Ana has a lot of great sidestep moves, like sidestep 3, a counter hit, you go for the follow-up, 1+2. And then she also has sidestep 2. Now, when you sidestep, another way to confuse your opponent, especially if they don't really have the best character knowledge against Ana, it's something different every single time. Sidestep 3, sidestep, down back 3, sidestep 1+2. And if you sidestep 1+2, you can go for that combo. Something like this. That's a pretty decent combo too. In the last game, you could do a combo, but you couldn't do that much damage in the last game with that 1+2 move. And then of course, sidestep 3 on block is safe, and you get +4. And then also you have 1+2 is also safe as well. So always take advantage of her sidestep moves. Switch up. Anyway, now by the wall, right? You have a lot of different options by the wall. You have down forward, 1, 2, 3, wall splats, on the hammer chance, expand this combo. Also, you can go for a sidestep 1, 2. You can also go for 1+2, but on counter hit, of course, you get the follow up. Or you can go into the heat smash, or you can do something like this. You can go into Chaos Judgment Stance. Or you could, of course, same thing. And then also you can also set up your heat moves too. So for example, let's say you wanna of course get them in, you want of course to get in heat, and then you want to of course do the debuff, so then that way you can do a lot of chip damage by the wall, so that way because if they panic and don't know what to do, they'll just block right against the wall, and then you can chip damage them to death. So for example, this is like a combo that I would do against the wall. So what I would do is something like this, and then so, or either the same thing after you of course and eat of course. So definitely take advantage of those two moves by the wall. That can make a lot of difference, especially at high levels. Also with pleasure time, you know, this move always, I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I would always just go for the debuff. Every now and then you can always go for the Chaos Judgment Stance mix up, or you can go for the low option, but I would just try to go for the debuff a lot of times, especially if you haven't used heat yet, and then you activate your heat and of course chip damage them. But again, just never, like, so when you're in this mode, when you're in this stance, never stay in it too long. Do something kind of quick, because a person that actually has good Ana knowledge as far as how to play against her, they're gonna always probably hit you, because you're in this state, you are vulnerable. All right, so yeah, keep that in mind too. Now, also, anytime you can get the stomp off, right? Like with any hit, like with Ana, always get that off. That frustrates the opponent, and it is always a good follow-up. Anytime you can do something like this, get a stomp, right? Something like this, get a stomp. Or any just knockdown where you can get a stomp, always utilize the stomp. Now, another important one of her moves is quarter circle 1. Get in the habit of being able just to do this, because if you're able to like get it off by running, let's say you have a distance, right? Like you come in like this, and then bam, something like this. It's a lot of pressure. It's also a lot of pressure, but the biggest thing is if you can get them in a combo, because if the counter hits, you get them in a combo. Do something like this. That's a lot of damage, basically, all right? There it is. Or do a combo like this. So until they nerf this character, she does 92 damage just off of that one counter hit combo. So always, if you have a hard time doing quarter circle movements, try doing 3 of them in a row. So that way you get used to doing it, and do it on both sides, so then that way you get used to playing on the left side and the right side. Now, also with Ana, a lot of times people are gonna always go for this move right here. Instead of always going for that, switch it up and do this move instead. Forward, 2-4, because that's also in mid, right? That's also a great way to mix up, because they might duck, because this is a low. Both moves are low. So the thing about it is, if you use both those moves interchangeably, that's another way you can also mix up your opponent, because you don't want to always be doing the same thing over and over and over again. Also, I don't know if you know, from Hammer Chance, you can do her chain grab. So with Hammer Chance, and then you just press 1. In the last game, this was a lot harder to do. I mean, it wasn't super hard to do, but in this game, they simplified it and made it a whole lot easier. Take advantage of that. Also, one of her best throws in the game is this move right here. It's great because, number one, it does good damage, but also it creates a lot of space. So if you're by the wall, you can use that move to escape from being by the wall, actually. So take advantage of her throws. And then also she has this throw too, which is also a good throw, because if you got them in the corner, you can still keep them in the corner without having to like switch to the other side. But yeah. But anyway, this concludes my tutorial. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.
Come over here. Let me talk to you real quick.